Chris here. Have a really exciting review for you today. This is the Spyderco Schempp. Let's not waste any time and open this thing up. Alright guys, now this is a product from Spyderco I was really excited to get sent in. This is the Schempp, which is, I guess you could call the Gen 2 or an evolution of the original, which was called the rock salt. And that used different steel. It was using H1, where this is using VG10. Now, a couple of details I want to just get out of the way really fast is the overall blade length is 6 3/4 of an inch. The overall length is just a fraction over a foot long. It is 12 1/4 inches. The blade thickness is what took me by surprise, but had it interesting. It's only 0.125 inches thick. It's the same thickness you will find on a Mora bushcraft survival knife. Now, due to a few features that the Schempp actually offers, causes it to be a bit different from other large fixed blade knives. It comes in at a very, very meager 9.1 ounces. For a knife of this size, this is almost unheard of. I have folders that are only an ounce less than this. The handle is made of bi-directional, very grippy, and extremely ergonomic FRN. The blade steel is VG10, and the Rockwell hardness, I couldn't find an exact, but the range that Spyderco uses on all its VG10 steel is between 59 and 62, so it's going to be on the slightly higher end. Now, when I had this thing in my hand, something I noticed right away is it felt really, really, really comfortable, and it is really lightweight. It has a skeletonized tang, so it reduces the weight, and it actually has a weight-reducing swedge, and it's a full flat grind. This knife is an extreme cutter and slicer. I have a bunch of different footage that I'm going to be showing off for you guys today, and I'm really excited to do that. A couple of really cool features that I really enjoy about this knife actually is the handle, and it comes with a good opening for a lanyard to give yourself some extra grip. It has a little bit of a handle guard to protect yourself when you're doing anything of a more heavy-duty nature. Now, this knife isn't necessarily designed for heavy chopping. I would save that for like a really huge, beefy, fixed blade knife. But there is a lot of give and take with this knife. Like I said, it's not suited for heavy-duty chopping, but since it's so lightweight, has excellent balance and a good edge retention, it more than makes up for its minor drawback. One of the big things I really like about this are the ergonomics of this blade. It feels very, very natural in the hand, and it has almost a kukri-like shape, if you can see, where it's kind of forward angle, and it's got a really huge big belly, just like on the end of a standard or more traditional kukri blade. So it's going to be for snap cutting and anything of that nature. It's going to really bite in really deep, and you're going to be able to see that later on today. It slices and it cuts with ease. This thing is perfect for everyday camp tasks, food prepping, hunting, skinning, self-defense, and light to medium chopping. Some of the drawbacks from this blade that I did notice right away, and it is on a bunch of other reviews that I've seen for this knife, is mainly the sheath. The sheath is okay. As built as itself, it's not bad. It has a nice multi-directional pocket clip you can use for different options for belt carry. But the main complaint is for this being closer to a higher end production fixed blade is the sheath and the knife do not fit very well. It does lock in, but it does have some rattle. And that was kind of a concern. As you can see, there's a considerable amount of rattle, but it does lock it in there. So for me, it is kind of a give and take. I wish for a higher priced knife, they would have done a better job creating a more secure fit, but at the same time, it does its job, and it's not super horrible as some people do say. Now granted, there are give and takes with it being production blade, and you can have some differences in the production line. So I happen to, as far as I can tell, have a good sampling of this knife. Another thing I wish they would have done is make the blade just a little bit thicker. even if it was only like an extra millimeter, up to like 4 millimeters, as even some of the heavier duty machetes are done. And for me, I think that would have better suited it for really hardcore, even like household, outdoor, and camping needs. It would give it a little bit more heft, yes, but they still could have done some stuff to it to give it more of a heavy-duty chopper, because it is a big blade. It's basically a really high-quality, super sharp Mora. But the things that I'm going to show you this knife can do, in my mind, definitely makes up for the lack of the fact that it cannot be a heavy-duty chopper. But with that said, I wouldn't be doing heavy-duty chopping with a knife of this size anyway. I wouldn't be doing a lot of batoning. I'd be saving that for the really big, huge knives, like RTAC 2s, Becker BK9s, SE Hungalis, stuff like that. That's where I'm doing all my big chopping, is with big, huge, nasty blades like that, not 6.5 to 7-inch blades. So in that mindset, I can't really fault this blade too much, and with that mindset that I've put to it, it's almost a perfect knife in my mind. Now, this knife isn't new, quote-unquote, to the market by any standpoint. It has been out for a couple years, so I'm a little late of getting into this, but I'm going to be taking the testing a lot further, which you're going to see in a moment. Now, when this thing first came out, the retail price for this was almost $250. But on Amazon and a lot of other retailers, you can find it between $129 to $150, which at its lowest you can find it for almost 50% off, which is a considerable savings. Overall, my impressions, this is a really great knife and has almost endless uses. And it has an okay sheath. But enough of anything negative. This is a great knife. Let me show you what this thing can do. Alright, something that every single camper and outdoor has nowadays is paracord. So that's going to be one of the first tests I do for you guys today, showing you how well and easy this thing cuts. And this thing is nasty. I've already done some preliminary testing that was never made it on film, because I just wanted to show you how well this thing works. Took no time at all. Alright, another test I'm going to do is cutting cardboard, because if you don't have your folder on you or anything of that nature, this may be the only knife that you've got. And it cuts cardboard like butter. But you need to get into the food. Let's say for some crazy chance you were nuts and you forgot to pack the can opener. Not a problem. As you guys are going to be able to see, this thing is perfect for almost any type of task in the kitchen. First, you're seeing me slicing this apple, and then next we're going to move on to some protein or meats. With this being a completely stainless steel blade, this is perfectly suited for indoor or outdoor needs of any type of food preparation. Alright, in advance I apologize for the noise. The geese have been very active today, but I've been boasting how good of a slicer this is. So let's check it out on this bottle and see how well it does. Amazing. Let's take the Spyderco Schempp and a ferro rod and start a fire. Fire started. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the testing and review of the Spyderco Schempp. I've had an extreme pleasure testing this thing, and in my mind it performed incredibly well, despite some of the drawbacks I thought this was going to have. It held up pretty darn well, and I have to definitely give my thumbs up and my approval for this blade as an all-around knife for almost any purpose. Well, that does it for today. Have a good one. I'm out.